It's a monument which is of 8 categories, so of national importance. It was not lived in for the last 30 years, and it's the right moment when we still can save it. This was actually the reason why we did it.
Inside this building, we went to school from the 1st grade to the 4th grade, and this was basically the village's school until 2001. And yes, this is the place where we learn to read. This is the place where we learn to, I don't know, basically math. And this is the place where we grow up.
The ambulance for monument was perfect for us because he come in right time, because it's important for us to put this building in safety.
Probably in a few years it would go to a ruin. And a ruin you cannot build again, you cannot rebuild it actually, because heritage is not renewable.
Before was disappointed about that building because it's almost collapsed, but now I'm disappointed about the past, but the future is in our hands and we can change this to make this building great again.
At the core of the project, there are actually the volunteers and the van, which is equipped with tools and places for materials. They are mainly young people between 25 and 35. Some of them are students in architecture, archaeology, engineering, structural engineering, history, art history, tourism, so mainly at the border of heritage. We actually like to believe that every volunteer is feeling it's his own project. This is actually what we do. We give them responsibility in each of the steps we are doing. Some of them are more skilled on the technical part. Some of them are involved in the promotion of the ambulance. Some of them, they are coordinating. So we have volunteers which are already coordinating in some regions the ambulance, because the ambulance is working like a franchise. So it's taken over. It's been taken over by several NGOs, which some of them we have set up, supported to be set up, and they are coordinating and being involved. So as soon as they learn for a few years here, they are doing their own ambulances all over Romania.
This is my first experience with the ambulance of monuments, but the community is amazing, and the way they all just mobilized around the building and they just all jump in to come and help, even for a few hours. I think that's very important, and also just old buildings, old architecture is part of us, and I think we should keep them around.
The main invention of the ambulance is a recipe which seems to be working in each of the intervention we have, and it's mainly based on the community participation. They offer us food and accommodation. This is their main role, and the town halls are also supporting the materials we need, and we are coming with the volunteers, with the craftsmen, and we are also doing the documentation to do the intervention. The Prince of Wales was the first and the biggest supporter from the beginning. He believed in this project since 2016 when we launched it. He supported financially. He's doing a lot of lobby, and he just waits to see all the pictures we are sending and that young people from Romania are involved. And also that we are recovering intangible heritage, because we are using local craftsmen, local materials. We are trying to preserve also nature around the building, and I think this is what he likes most of this project. Since the last 30 years, it's not just that communities have abandoned buildings, but also the support of the state was very, very low. We don't have actually the conditions to do restoration. We don't have proper law on structural intervention. We just use concrete now, according to the law. We don't have certified traditional materials. We don't have the craftsmen which should do the work. They are not skilled anymore. The technical schools, they were shut down 30 years ago. So we don't have the premises. And our idea was actually to put them safe, so to give them a delay for 20 or 30 years until we can come and to consolidate this part which is missing, to have the proper auspices to do the work actually. Otherwise we're just destroying monuments if we start restoring them now. We don't have the conditions. The ambulance has a place for everyone. We actually want that every Romanian should at some point come to put a tile or a nail on a roof to save its own cultural identity.